right, so you are watching the Delco Duo on PHL 17. I'm Monica Cryan.
And I am Jenna Meisner. Thanks so much for joining us. We're a day late, but we're still celebrating St. Patrick's Day. I think it's through the whole entire weekend.
The whole weekend. So, you know, sometimes we'll have regular shows and sometimes we have special shows. This is a special show. This is St. Patrick's Day weekend themed.
And right off of the top of the show, Monica wanted to talk about her authentic Irish garb.
Because, I mean, I look ridiculous. Right? This is not my best outfit.
But it's authentic, and that's what matters, people.
Yes, this is Ireland rugby jersey.
And your husband got it when he was in Ireland.
Yes, he studied abroad. His family's from Ireland, and he studied abroad.
The Cryans are as Irish as they come.
Irish as they come, and I love it. It's so fun to be, you know, like a part of it because they're so Irish. And so St. Patrick's Day for me, I am actually half Irish, like just me, myself, but my husband's full on Irish.
Right.
And I thought, man, you can't get much more Irish than them. So.
And then the kids are 75%.
Right, so that makes
and
my
they look
kids
super Irish. Your two little ones are very Irish looking.
Yeah, so they've been all week long leading up to St. Patrick's Day decked out in Irish gear because we've got the Irish rugbies, we've got just regular shirts, and so they've had so much gear to get through.
And this is the week to do it.
Yeah.
I have no Irish in me. There's no Irish in my family. Tate, my husband's not Irish at all, so we are just like 0% when it comes to the Irish.
Which is so funny for Delco. Because to me, everyone in Delco that I know is Irish Italian.
Yes.
Irish Italian, Irish Italian.
Yeah, no, I am German Italian. So
you're really just mixing up Delco.
And then
you're
Tate's French Canadian, so I'm like, you're just not even.
That is he full on French Canadian?
75%.
I didn't even know that was,
yeah, French Canadian.
I thought, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'm just trying, I thought like saying you're French Canadian is being like, oh, I'm American. Like, yeah, but what are you really?
So Lithuanian, French Canadian, he has a very odd mix going on in his family.
Well,
so
Jenna, thanks to you, you are really mixing up the Delco gene pool because otherwise it would just be a bunch of Irish and Italians
That's what I mean.
around.
Like you need to have some variety.
Thank you.
All right, so of course we're talking about St. Patrick's Day. I hope you had a nice celebration. Maybe you're coming home from continuing that celebration into your Saturday night.
Well, it's Erin Express today.
Erin Express is like 10 weekends. I feel like it never
really?
ends.
I thought it was just today.
No, there's 2 weekends.
Oh, okay.
But it feels like a marathon. I say it's 10 because by the end of it, you've had your fun.
So if you are just getting home.
10 weekends.
Yes, if you are just getting home from Erin Express, thank you so much for watching.
You won't remember the show. You won't remember what's happening on the show.
Doesn't matter what we say.
So you might laugh now, but you'll forget that you even watched us in the morning. But it's also March Madness.
It is.
So this is like a whirlwind of a weekend because a lot of people obviously are watching that.
So let's get right to the debrief. Because we talked about it last week. We said, here are the bars that we're putting into our brackets.
So if people are just watching us, this is, you know, maybe they missed last week. It's okay. We'll forgive you, or you're a first-time viewer. We have made our own Delco Bars March Madness. So round 1 has taken place.
And the winners are.
You can see the results on your screen.
The results on the screen. So going to our next round is Old State Tavern versus Tom and Jerry's.
Ooh, that's a good matchup.
That's, I think right off the bat, that's what it's going to come down to. O'Connell's Tavern, J.D. McGillicuddy's in Havertown, Marty McGee's.
Big Irish bar.
Yes. Okay.
Huge Irish bar.
Yeah, that's going to be packed this weekend. Barnaby's.
I think Barnaby's is going to go down here.
We spent time thinking Barnaby's. I love all of them, but this is Aston specific. Anthony's Pax and Hollow.
Which I think you were surprised by because you were there for a shower like a couple weekends ago, and you're like, well, this is not really a bar. The older folks get down at Anthony's, and I'm talking about my mother.
They dance.
They dance. There's DJs, and they get down.
I need to go because that's my favorite. I love bars.
I don't know if it's our crowd per se. It's like
that's okay.
50 and up.
Every so often, I love to be like I love going to Margate when in
memories.
Like, memories like summer nights like. Yes. And sometimes it's a bit of an older crowd. I'm okay with that. I love the dancing. I'm fine with it.
But they're in that stage of life where they're like rejuvenated partying.
Yes.
Like they've raised their kids and now they're going wild.
Yes,
so
and I can't
it
even
is a
keep
fun
up.
crowd.
Can't even keep up. Oh, and then we can't forget, next up, going up against Anthony's is Saxers in Springfield.
Which is also a very cult following, I would say.
Cult following, I agree with you. Cult following, one of the newer bars. Like a lot of these that have made it have been around for forever. I mean, we're looking at Old State, Tom and Jerry's. That's old
This
school.
is newer. This is like the Gen Z bar.
Yes,
if you
but
want to
that's-
call it that.
But that's what we like about it is a lot of Delco's going to Saxers now as like a fun like craft beer kind of thing.
Yep.
So
Voting will continue. You can find that on our Instagram stories.
right. So the way we did it is I just put each kind of round up, and then everybody voted, and the winner of that goes on to the next round. So we'll be doing that again. Congrats, Bards.
All right, let's get to our first issue of the night. All of them are Irish themed with Irish names. Monica I don't even know how to say this name, so go ahead, Monica.
So many of you may be looking, going, what? It's Saoirse. Saoirse from Springfield. So like Saoirse Ronan. You know that actress?
I didn't know until you told me what she was in, and then I remembered her.
All right. As a bartender, nothing makes me hate my job more than St. Patrick's Day.
I kind of feel
Why?
like this is agreed upon in the bartending community. There's no gray area. You're either gonna love St. Patrick's Day as a bartender, or you're gonna absolutely hate it.
So I think it's like that in New Year's. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, New Year's, it's just so crowded.
Any big
so
drinking
crazy. Yes.
holiday, if you want. I know there's so much more to St. Patrick's Day than, alcohol, but I feel those who are not Irish or those who like an Americanized version
We've
of
just
St.
totally made
Patrick's
it-
Day, we've just made it like a binge drinking
Yes.
event.
Absolutely. And I do think like New Year's, yes, it can be annoying for a bartender, but I still think you're getting good tips. St. Patrick's Day, I feel like I don't even know if I tipped those times I was at the bar. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where I'm just leaving.
And go to the next one.
Or go to the next one and forget your card. Do you know how annoying that is?
The amount of times I did that in college, and I'd call home and let my, hey Dad, I lost my card again, just because.
You called your dad?
Yeah, because I'm like, at that point he's like, well, you got to call and get another one.
Well, oh yeah, no, I was not calling. That was the last person. I was like, shh, try and keep this a secret. I left my card at the bar again.
No, I would always call. But also when it comes to New Year's, like the comparison, you're usually paying a hefty cover for a lot of like the New Year's. So you're not gonna, spend $100 to get in and then.
And it's kind of like you're dressed up nice.
Yeah,
you're dressed up nice. You're kind of, it's a little bit classier. Where St. Patrick's Day, people are just in the gutter the whole time. I can understand why bartenders are like least favorite day of the year.
Maybe just don't work it. Now, if you need the money, like this is the pot of gold. If you want to stay with the theme, like you are going to be making.
See, that's what I'm saying though. I don't think people are tipping that well on St. Patrick's Day.
I would hope maybe it depends upon the bar. We want to work at an Irish bar. You want to work at an Irish bar at like Fado or McGillen's
Or the other thing is too, yes, it's annoying, but the drinks you're making are not that complicated. People are just ordering Guinnesses, green beer. It's not like they're ordering, espresso martinis, which are so annoying to
I don't
me.
know. Those are really trendy nowadays. You might get some basics up in the Irish celebrations.
Don't order an espresso martini on St. Patrick's Day. Get yourself a beer or a bourbon.
All right, coming up next, we are still talking about St. Patrick's Day, and we're going from drinks to food. I think this is an interesting take on, a grievance, if you will, with St. Patrick's Day.
You might not be aware of. Stay with us. And welcome back. We could not have a better sponsor for today's and this weekend show. It's O'Shea's at Harrah's. And they did not ask us to say this, but like O'Shea's at Harrah's.
It's the Delco's Irish pub. Of course, we see their logo every week, but today especially. So
this is good.
Thanks, O'Shea's, for liking us. All right.
Good place to party.
We've got our next issue, another Irish name, Hagen.
Hagen from Havertown. Why do restaurants offer a Reuben special on St. Patrick's Day? The sandwich was not created in Ireland.
Sensing some sass.
Thank you, Hagen.
Some sass from Hagen.
Yeah, Hagen's like so Irish, and he's like, I don't understand. That's not real Irish. I don't know if you know this, Hagen, but St. Patrick's Day is not necessarily, it's become Americanized. like many things that we celebrate here.
Do the people in Ireland, you might have more insight into this, do they dislike the way that Americans have transformed the holiday, or do they sort of embrace what we've done over here?
Oh, they don't seem to really mind all that much. Like, and you know, I'm
I
just
hear
saying,
like we party here harder than they party there.
They party on St. Patrick's Day. We saw Dublin, but it's like one of those things where I can see the locals are like, oh, here we go. Come on, guys. Like, and I do think that there's a little bit of that feel like there's more to St. Patrick's Day. You know, a lot of the Catholics, a lot of the Catholic people are like, hello, this is not what this is about.
Yes. Day, literally called, you know.
Right, and you know, the whole history of it, you know, is that it saved Ireland.
Yes.
And so, they don't get annoyed with it, or they get maybe irritated with it, but they're not mad about it, kind of thing.
So what is a Reuben? I know everyone probably knows what a Reuben is, but if you don't know what a Reuben is, like what does your perfect Reuben sandwich look like?
Corned beef. And then you got like sauerkraut or some type of like a coleslaw on rye.
Yep.
So good.
So here's one of the restaurants
Melty Swiss
is offering it. So I think Hagen in particular was talking about Arby's because this is a promo that they run around St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
So not only do they have the Reuben, but they also have the mint chocolate shake, maybe trying to rival the Shake Shack, or not the Shake Shack, the Shamrock Shake from McDonald's. So he takes an issue with this. And I mean, you got to think about it. Like Irish potatoes are not Irish. Like we're talking about, you know, the coconut, cinnamon.
Oh, right.
I'm not talking about like legitimate potatoes. I'm talking about like Irish potatoes.
That's only a Philly thing. That's not even
right. Reubens, Shamrock Shake, none of that is Irish.
If you're going to have a problem with a Reuben, you're going to have a problem with a lot about this. The other thing that's so funny is a Reuben to me is Jewish. Like
right.
I think it's a Jewish deli thing.
A deli, exactly, exactly. So I don't know why Arby's is like St. Patrick's Day Reuben. I guess because corned beef. I mean,
corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah, but
that's an Irish dish. Is corned beef and cabbage, not a Reuben. But
bangers and mash again.
Is that sausage and mashed potatoes?
You're the Irish one.
Well,
I don't know. Bangers and mash.
Yeah, bangers and mash is, I believe, sausage and mashed potatoes, and then shepherd's pie is another really good one.
I love shepherd's pie.
Which, when I went to Ireland, I did have shepherd's pie, and it was amazing. It was so good.
So when your mother-in-law comes to visit, I know she typically cooks like a lot of Irish
she'll
food.
do.
Like, what does she make?
Irish soda bread. She makes her own Irish soda bread.
And is that a dessert, or is that more like a loaf of bread?
It's like a bread, and then you can put butter on it. We put butter on it.
Okay.
I don't really know if it's a dessert technically or like an appetizer.
Starch.
Yes. We'll have it usually at breakfast, actually.
Okay.
And that's another great thing. Irish breakfast is so good.
Well, that's
how I like to do St. Patrick's Day. Beans. You do like almost like a
I was never meant to be Irish. That does not sound good to me at all.
If you want to rock your breakfast up and
Baked beans?
Oh,
see, like I just don't even like baked beans at a barbecue, so I don't think for breakfast I would enjoy them.
Yeah, but what you just have to do with this holiday is have fun with it.
Well, Hagen, do you want Arby's to offer like bangers and mash? Like that's probably not gonna be that great. Or corned beef and cabbage? Like you want to get that at Arby's?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like they're doing what they can.
They're having fun with it. That's what this holiday in America has become. And even in Ireland, it's a fun holiday for them. Just have fun with it. Don't be offended.
Do you think in Ireland they have green beer? I mean, that's another thing that
I'm trying to think. No. And actually, this is just what I had heard, is that yes, Guinness is popular in Ireland, but their most popular beer is Budweiser.
Okay.
Like their most prominent, like that's what everybody is buying day in and day out. Like well,
Guinness is like a very special type of beer to me. Like I can drink maybe one of them, but I'm not having multiple Guinnesses. Guinness-I
is how I believe.
I'm not having Guinness-I all night long at the bar.
Right. You can only have like a few, but yeah, so there's
just don't go to Arby's, Hagen. Just ignore the promotion.
And you're gonna find
it's a valid argument. Like I understand, like you said, like Jewish deli, made in America type of idea. Like It's gonna be all right. It's just a sandwich.
This holiday is for the college kids nowadays, so that's all.
It is true.
And we are having so much fun. So make sure you stay with us because my husband's having a lot of fun, and
that's the problem this week.
That's our next topic. So stay with us.
Yeah, coming up, we're gonna find out what Eugene has been up to. Not only is he 100% Irish and it's St. Patrick's Day, but also it's March Madness.
He might never come home. And welcome back to our St. Patrick's / March Madness special.
If you want to call it that. I feel like every week we're going to be talking about March Madness till it's done.
Yeah, but this is fun. I'm excited to see how the rest of the bars fare and like which one wins.
And people are still submitting them, and we've seen those. So don't think we're ignoring you. It's just we're off to the races at this point. So maybe next year, maybe we'll make this like a yearly thing.
A yearly thing, just
if this show's still around. If they,
and we can do different themes. This year was your classic Delco bar, and next year we can do best dance bars.
Okay. There's not many. That was one of our issues. There's not enough dance bars in Delco.
There's not enough, but there are places to go and dance.
Okay.
So maybe that'll be next year. But this is what I'm talking about this week.
What's Monica
for my
crying
issue.
about?
Crying
about. Have you not felt like within the last few years that March Madness has become a disappearing act for husbands and boyfriends?
I just must not be a cool wife because I don't feel that way. I mean, we're talking about like amongst coworkers here in the station, you, Kelsey, your husbands, do they go away every year for this?
Well, Eugene just started. Like last year he went away, this year he went away. And by me, I don't think it's just Eugene that's all of a sudden done this. It's a lot of guys are now planning trips.
I will say Tate hasn't gone on a trip for March Madness, but they call them team building at work.
Oh my gosh.
So like for the first day of March Madness, they got a table at one of the bars near their office.
Yeah.
That started at 2, and like he didn't come home like normal time, like dinner time. Like I had dinner by myself.
Yes.
The horror!
Dinner by yourself.
Having dinner by myself. He just left me. But so like a disappearing act, I guess.
I just think every year it gets bigger and bigger. And I'm hearing more and more groups of guys that are not just, for instance, I had a group of guy friends growing up and they would rent out a part of Chicky and Pete's every year. And they would just start March Madness. They would watch all the games all day long and they would allow women to come.
They would allow?
Yeah, they'd be like, come for a few games. And we would go and have so much fun and I'd love it. But they would be there all day. I'd stop in for an hour or two, watch a few games.
It's funny that you say like would allow because March Madness, like it is a thing where women, I feel, are not as
involved in
it.
Yes.
Like I remember growing up, my dad used to go to these like big bracket parties and stuff.
Okay,
and
so it was.
I mean, it was a different time then, and it was called like no skirts. Like no women were allowed to go.
I've never heard of no skirts. Oh wow.
So
but was that one day?
I'm wearing a skirt and I'm talking about March Madness now.
Yes.
Look at me.
Look at you. You can do anything you put your mind to.
No, but that was back in the day. I mean, now today I'm sure there'd be a bigger problem with that.
Was that one day?
It was towards the end. It wasn't one event. It wasn't like every time it happened, but it was like one big event where someone won all the money. And
okay, I see. So now what I think it's become is in the beginning, the first round of games for March Madness is now a disappearing act. And a lot of these guys that I was just telling you about that would rent out Chicky and Pete's are now taking it a step further. They go to AC. And then they're there the whole weekend in AC. And I'm getting texts from my friends like, hey guys, girls night, let's bring the kids together. I'm like, well, we got the short end of this stick.
We have all our kids.
We've got all the kids. We're all gonna gather and multiply.
A trip to me is too much. A trip is, I understand it's exciting. March Madness is great. The first round, I mean, we're talking like Penn State local.
Yes.
We're talking about, obviously there's so many games
Penn State
happening and it's very exciting. But to go away for it, I don't think is necessary, especially when you have a lot of kids.
Right.
If you're a single man, you do you.
I actually felt like within the last few weekends, I've had a lot going on, and there's been a lot of, solo parenting for Eugene. So this trip, I was like, you go for it.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
And he's not
you go
going
for
far, and he's going back home, like to his
right.
To Connecticut.
He's hanging out with his high school friends in Connecticut, and they're doing like a golf day.
So it's not like he's going like bachelor party.
No, it's
turned
still
into kind of like a March Madness type
I guess
thing.
my question is, if women did this, where we had a whole weekend where every woman ever.
The men they wouldn't survive.
Like, I guess it would be like if all of a sudden The Bachelor was
what I was
airing that night,
thinking.
and every woman ever was like, listen, I'm done. I'm going away with my girls for the weekend so we can watch The Bachelor. Everyone would make fun of us. They would be like, oh, here they go. Their Bachelor weekend, Bachelorette weekend.
Right.
But no one says boo.
Like, I think like the men would be like, oh, I got the kids. Like it would be more of a, I feel like a burden just because.
I feel like, like some of the late night talk shows or even a lot of the Instagram kind of comedy people would just make fun of women like, oh, here we go, this weekend again. But no one says boo about the disappearing act that happens at the beginning of March Madness.
So the issue here, I guess, is whether or not a trip is warranted.
Or just like the whole weekend. The whole weekend is like, and it begins Thursday because the games start Thursday. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, really. And then some men come like crawling back home on Sunday. And I'm like,
I don't think the whole weekend's warranted. I understand, like, it's exciting.
One day.
But then again, like, I guess I'm just not a cool wife. I thought I was, but I guess I'm just not.
Could have told you that. All right, trivia coming up next. We'll read the question. Go ahead, Jenna. Okay. You cool wife, you.
That's the weirdest intro. We will read the question. Here it is. In Pennsylvania, what county just beats Delco in the largest Irish American population? Think about it. And I'll think about it.
I think this might have been maybe an easier one because
Not for me.
No, I know a lot of people
this was
know.
Surprising.
Lackawanna County, which is in Northeast PA, and it includes Scranton, which that's where I was saying a lot of people do know Scranton's a very Irish town or city.
Yeah, so I remember I had a few friends who went to the college.
Yes.
And their parade day, like people would come from all over.
Yes.
People would travel to Scranton for their St. Patrick's Day parade. I just remember seeing the pictures and it being wild. But the margin wasn't that big. I mean, we're talking 25.2% in Lackawanna,
people.
And then Delco's 24%.
Right,
That's
of people in Delco, Irish American. I think it's like a bit of a like Irish mix, you know what I mean? But so I always thought Delco had the largest population of Irish Americans. Turns out Lackawanna County does. But I think it's like within Delco, Havertown has like the largest number of Irish people.
And Springfield has a big one too.
Yeah.
They had their parade, I think, last week. Did your aunt ever end up going? Because I know she was debating between.
She did Seattle.
It is funny because a lot of people Wildwood is another like a ton of people go from Delco to Wildwood for St. Patrick's Day.
For St. Patrick's Day, Wildwood has also their Irish festival, Irish weekend down the shore. That's not this weekend. It's at the end of summer. But yeah, a lot of Irish. But apparently, Lackawanna County beats us.
All right. Well, we just got to get that percent up by like 1 or 2, and we'll beat them.
Well,
we're working on it.
Me and my husband are helping that.
Your kids are working on it.
They're 75% Irish. I mean, and they look 100%. Like they look like there's nothing else to them.
Baby Eugene's a little leprechaun.
He is a little leprechaun. I love it.
We should have put his picture up.
Oh, with his Irish. He has a shirt just like this because we have all the Irish gear, and he looks like it. So don't forget to vote on our brackets. It'll be on Instagram.
And Delco Duo at phl17.com. That's where you can give us feedback if you'd like. Or you can just talk to us.
Give me feedback.
I like the feedback. Sometimes it's funny. It's either you love us or you hate us. But we love all of you.
We love you.
So have a great night. Hope you had a great weekend. We'll see you next time.